guys, we are making a character now. So let's go through the different classes. So this is the one that my main character is. I believe almost all of them have like a little companion, but like this little guy, when you level your abilities, he'll actually start changing colors. So mine is fire with like a little bit of electric, and so he's all red and like glowy, and his little tail has like the little blue electrics. So he's the Clawbringer, Wyvern Trainer with focus on fire and electric damage. So you get your Wyvern Companion, like I was just saying. He's pretty badass. He flies around attacking the enemies with like his claws, with fire breath, or electric if you have him learn electric abilities. His special ability, or his action ability, I guess, is this hammer. So you come at folks with this like big ass hammer, you slam it on the ground all dramatic, or depending on which trait you take, you can throw it like Thor, and anything in the way gets hit gets hurt, and then when you summon it back, everything that's in its path gets hurt again. So it's pretty neat. And then we have his other special, so Dragonstorm's Judgment. Oh, that's the throwing one. So you got the slammy hammer and the throwy hammer. I really like this class. We also have Spell Shot. The Spell Shot, from what I remember, doesn't have any companions, so we'll skip that because anything without a companion is not important. JK. Just kidding. So this one's all about spell casting. So you have your spells. You could do spell weaving, where like you could stack abilities and basically do a whole lot of damage. You can polymorph, which is pretty cool. Well, you can't polymorph. You can polymorph enemies, so that's pretty neat. And then the enemies will like start attacking each other. And then you have the Ambihextrous. Fatemaker may equip a second spell in their inventory, and so you can go between your different spells, which is pretty nice considering there's a lot of really cool spells. And I personally struggle picking a spell since I get really attached to like one, for example, creates these little hydras in the ground. And then there's this other one that's like a meteor, and it just summons a bunch of meteors to hit like an AoE, and I can't pick between them, and so I always go with the animals because, of course. We got Graveborn. Graveborn has his little floating lich, who actually you can interact with, and he says a lot of funny little things. He does dark magic, and he shoots from a range, which one should if they're a magic user. Dire Sacrifice. So this guy takes part of his life in exchange for boosting his abilities and doing extra damage. And then if he's fully healed, there's additional add-on things that he can do. I haven't played this guy, but in this game, you can multi-class, kind of similar to how you could in Dungeons and Dragons. So if you multi-class with a character that has two companions, you get another companion, you get two companions. So I'm considering it. We got the Spore Warden. He has this cute little fungal companion, and I need him. I want him and my little Flappy up here flying around. So this guy, of course, he's going to be doing your poison damage. The Spore Warden is more around arrows and like crossbows and stuff. So he has an ability called Ethereal Bow, where he shoots 7 arrows that deal like a bunch of different types of damage. So as you're going down the skill tree, you could pick different things, and they could ricochet. And so like one arrow could hit an enemy multiple times. And then he has the ability, or she, if you make a she, has the ability to make frost cyclones as its character class ability. And so you shoot out those frost cyclones, and it starts beating the enemy in an area for a duration of time, and then you can even freeze them or slow them. And then we got the Berserker. He smashes everything as a Berserker would. Also doesn't have a companion, so sad for him. He's pretty straightforward. He enrages and then he does more damage. He has like a spin attack, so he can do a pain tornado and hurt a bunch of enemies in the vicinity. He can also leap and then slam onto enemies, and then that also does an AoE. And then as you go down the tree, you can add in additional things like elements and stuff like that to burn or to freeze them. I don't know if anybody caught the comment that the big bad guy made in the intro video, but the reason he's great is because he's a mini that hasn't been painted yet, which I freaking adore. Alright, we got the Blight Collar. Oh my god, that's hard to say. And so he is a bog shaman. He has a a companion, and it is a bog totem. And the bog totem is an elemental, so it can do different elemental damages. So his whole thing is applying special effects. So he can add fire, he can add electric, he can add poison. His special is the Plague Storm, and so it is a big ol' AoE that poisons over time anybody that's in the area. And he can also, depending on where you go on your spell tree, apply elemental damage, and basically shoot little bolts in between the various enemies. Now we got the Stablemancer. Stablemancer also doesn't have a mini, or I keep saying mini, but I mean companion. They're all about getting crits and high damage. So you sneak up, you get them while they're unaware, you get a critical hit off of them. They're pretty much almost dead, or if not completely dead, depending on how hard you hit or how high your critical is. He throws out a ghost blade so he can get some range on there. Yeah. Also, his special, he can go invisible, and so that also helps you get a crit. I think it makes it automatic. All damage dealt automatically. Yeah. So while you're in stealth, you automatically get a crit when you hit, and yeah, he's a hard hitter. It's great to have him in your party. That way you can chunk down the enemies pretty quickly. Yeah, and that's our classes. They are pretty neat. I really like the way that they did this, because it feels like you're picking your class, like as if you're flipping through a D&D book. And then you start looking at their abilities, and if you're anything like me, when I'm making a D&D character, I'll be flipping through the abilities, and then I'll go back and be like, oh, I didn't want this class, actually. Let me go to this one with this cute little companion, and for some reason I always become a ranger, so... Well, not always. Sometimes I'm a druid, but that's beside the point.